everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a little bit of a different kind of makeup tutorial. If you guys don't know who Snitchery is, you need to look her up on Instagram, look her up on YouTube. She is an amazing cosplayer, makeup artist, content creator, and she's been doing these like catfishing videos, like the way that she does certain types of makeup to make her eyes look bigger, her lips a different shape, her nose contour, all that kind of stuff. So basically just like really intense makeup transformations. And so I decided I wanted to try all of them together. Now she has like 8 videos, and some of them are full makeup looks and some of them are just individual parts. So I'm taking the ones that are individual parts and putting them together. So we'll be doing skin, eyes, like making our eyes look bigger, nose contour, and then changing the lip shape, and then just like a really smooth skin. So if you guys want to see me do that and see other makeup tutorials, make sure you keep watching and subscribe. So the first thing we are going to do is skin. Now I usually do skin last, but because of the way the eyes and everything are supposed to be for this look, I think it will work better if I do my skin first. So this is a glass skin tutorial. So she did skincare first and moisturize everything. I did all of that already. So now I'm going to go in with a primer. This is the Pink Perfect Cream. She used I believe it was a Smashbox primer. I don't have all the same products as her, so I might look different when it comes down to it. But we're gonna start with this, which glass skin is like a K-beauty thing. Like all of their K-pop stars and stuff like that, they have like glass skin, like it looks so perfect. So I have a couple spots and some discoloration, so I'm gonna add a couple steps to this to cancel those out to try and get the effect. But it's just supposed to be like really glowy, natural looking skin. Next step is to conceal. So we are doing this before we put on any foundation, and just under the eyes I'm using my Fit Me concealer. So I'm interested to see how these all come together. Like, can you even do these tutorials like this without like really screwing up how you look, like making yourself look crazy? And like she even says, Snitchery I'm talking about here, that she has very cartoonish features. So doing things like making her eyes look bigger, her lips look different and stuff enhances those. I do not have cartoonish features, so I have a feeling this will put me more on the path of looking more like she looks like without makeup. Like her features are very different than mine. She has a very like her jaw is a bit more angular, where mine is not. I have like a pretty evenly proportioned face in terms of like forehead to chin, but I have a very round face. I am going to do the Cica Pear from Dr. Jart. This is a redness concealing product, and I'm just gonna put it on my blemishes. Next thing is foundation. This is pretty simple. You're supposed to use like a dewy foundation, so I'm using my Infallible 24-hour Fresh Aware. I'm just gonna pump it like this. So it's not supposed to be cakey, but she uses the ABH Luminous foundation, which is very high coverage. So this one is not as full coverage, but we're gonna go with it. We are going to take, she uses strobe cream. I don't have any. I used to have some. I'm going to use the Lighting Crew liquid highlighter. You're just supposed to take like an illuminizing type cream. This one is pretty pink, so it actually kind of is my skin tone. So I'm just using a very little bit. I'm kind of spreading it out on the Beauty Blender, and you're just supposed to go kind of into your eyebrow, like, and really be targeted with where you're putting it. So you want to like bounce it out quite a bit. So this is just supposed to like bring a sheen, so like as you can see when I turn, so that there's like, it kind of brings, it's almost like it's contouring your face is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so now we set just a little bit. She uses the Laura Mercier brightening powder. I don't have any Laura Mercier, I don't think anymore. I used to have a couple samples, so I'm just going to take a little bit on my sponge. This is the NYX HD Photo powder, and I'm just going right in underneath my eyes just to not bake, but just set my under eye concealer. Just gonna brush it off because we don't want it to be too matte and take away from all that we just did. Now we contour. For this, you are supposed to use a like bronzer type. You're supposed to use foundation, but that's just like a shade or two darker. So I'm going to use my Milani foundation and concealer. This is like the 2-in-1, and I'm just taking the smallest amount on the back of my hand and just going to contour with this. So I'm hoping this isn't too orange because I usually use this when I'm like fake tan to go into my Aurora kit, because I feel like this one is just too yellow for trying to be subtle. So I'm going to go into Luna and just pick up like a tiny amount, and she just barely touches the brush to the skin and then little circles. So I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Over top like of what we already did, I have like a weird line. So you're just adding more sheen to what we already did. Okay, so naturally I think the next step is we go into eyes. So we are going to do brows first. So I brush mine up always just to see what I'm working with. Now she used Give Me Brow. I do not have Give Me Brow, but I do have this micro brow pencil from NYX. So her technique for brows is different than how I normally do mine. It's a combination between the like Instagram look and the natural look. So she starts at the front of her brows and I usually start at the tail. But she starts with little hair-like strokes the whole way through the hair, which it takes so long for me to do because I have no brow hair. So I have one brow kind of almost done. So I filled in my natural brow, and then she said just extend it because it makes this eye space look much bigger, which I did. If you guys can see, I kind of drew here. So I'm gonna do one brow and then like do all of this, then do the other one off camera. So you just extend your brow out from the arch. So pretty easy. I am going to just blend this little section though. It's not quite blending. So the next thing is to take an angle brush kind of in the same color as your brow color. So I'm going to take Hickory from the Lorac palette. She uses like the Meet Matte palette from the Balm, and because it just doesn't look quite right, we're just gonna fill in this section with this darker color and then bring it into the brows. So almost kind of like ombreing the brow a bit, but just blending it so it all looks like one piece. This foundation is like rolling off my skin over here, so that's fun. And then she uses the 24-hour Benefit Brow Gel to set it down. Now I don't have that, but I do have Give Me Brow in a little tiny baby thing. So we are going to put that in here to kind of set everybody in place and also give that kind of more bushy look. It's like an Instabrow bushy baby. Okay, so my brows are done and they are very intense, but I kind of like them. So now we are supposed to go in and kind of do a cut crease sort of look with bronzer. So she uses an angled fluffy brush, which I have, and I'm just using my bronzer. And we're just supposed to go up like right here on the corner of the nose and bring it up. You just take a little bit of foundation, like your regular foundation shade, and kind of create a cut crease, I guess. So just go along the edge here, and I'm just bringing it in. So I'm going to take this a little bit. Now I just want to make sure it's not streaky or anything because I'm going over top. I am going into the color Walnut in this palette here. This is my Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette with that concealer brush. And you just trace along the line between the bronzer and the foundation. Create the under eye bags. So we take a little bit of walnut, and I'm going to take a little bit of mist because it's supposed to be like a mix between brown and gray, and we are going just underneath. You're supposed to like feel the face shape and just draw along like right under where you feel your eye, so kind of like the bottom of your eye socket. Same angle brush. Now I'm going into the blood sugar palette and I'm going into Glucose, and we're just gonna go right on the actual lash line with this so that it all looks brighter. Okay, so the next step is to extend everything vertically because we've done everything horizontally. So these are her words, by the way. I don't want anyone to think I'm copying. I'm doing Snitchery makeup techniques in case you fast forwarded through the intro. So I'm gonna do my wing. So I put my wings on, so my eyes are extended outwards now. Now we're going to do mascara. She uses the Kush Milk Makeup mascara. I only have the Lash Paradise that I could say even compares to that. And we are going to clump our bottom lashes together now. Okay, so it looks really dark, but we're supposed to put shadow under here anyway, so that's not a big deal. But now we're just going to do the top lashes as normal. Or to create the under eye bags, and just take a little bit of the brown and put that back underneath to shade underneath the bottom lash line, kind of extending it down. So this kind of gives those lashes the effect of creating a bigger shadow than they really are. It's going to take Glucose again underneath and highlight under the brow just to give it a little bit of a lift, apparently. You could do concealer underneath, I guess, but she says do this, so that is what I'm going to do. So my lashes are on, and I definitely think they make the biggest difference in kind of bringing everything together to make your eyes look bigger. So now we're going to do the nose contour. So we are going to take a cool brown. That is what is recommended in the video. So I'm going to take Pecan out of here because Walnut is just too dark, and I think anything like vintage is going to look too brown. So I'm taking an angled fluffy brush, and her nose is a little bit more round. I mean, mine is fairly round at the bottom as well. So I think if I do what she did, then it should kind of work out the way it's supposed to. So right now I'm shading here, and this is supposed to lift the tip. We do that. You are just supposed to take from the corner and go into the eyebrow. So kind of up and in here, because you want this all to connect together, which I think with the eye look, how we kind of shaded inside the nose already, it gives it a natural kind of transition, just kind of all the shadows mesh together. So we want to bring everything down this side so that it naturally kind of tapers off. And I think I got a little bit too much going on here, so I'm going to just run my sponge over it without any extra product on it. Just kind of clean it up a bit. My nose also gets super red as soon as I start contouring it. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand, like a little dollop like that, and this flat brush, and we are going to go on the outsides of the line that we made before. So like this. And the big thing here is to keep it straight. So now we're supposed to go back into the pecan color and go around here, like the nostril area, so that it is also contoured. And then take the fluffy brush, I'm using a Sephora one, like this fluffy brush, and blend everything together so that you don't have these big streaky lines going on. And it looks a bit more natural. But you still want, like, you don't want to blend away everything, you just want to blend it together so that it looks straight. So I definitely think my nose looks more lifted and like narrower up here. Taking a flat brush now, I'm going to go into Walnut, which is the next darkest color, and redefine the lines, kind of go under, because you want it to be lifted but still like you just want to look manufactured. I'm going to take my Wet n Wild highlight that I mentioned earlier, and we're gonna go right up the middle, and this gives the height. So we're going to start with a lip liner, and I guess it's a combination of overlining and underlining, kind of doing like the Bratz doll looking lip. So I am going to attempt to do this. We have to darken up the corner with the liner, and then extend upward. Now you are supposed to underline the bottom of your lip. You're supposed to take a little bit of bronzer, and I've done this trick since literally middle school, when my lips like really started to fill out, and just put a little shadow under that bottom lip. Take a flat brush. Snitchery, I hope I'm doing you proud. And just doing the corners. So now we're just gonna go in with a lip balm just to blend everything together, kind of smooth it out. So this is just gonna blend those lines kind of into the lip line naturally. I'm gonna put on, this is a Stila color, this is in Patina. Alright, so finally, after all of that, we are done. This is the Snitchery, all of her catfishing makeup tutorials in one, from the nose to the eyes, the skin to the mouth, honey. Do I look like an anime character? I feel like I do. But I'm okay with it. I really like the eyes. That for sure is giving me like a lot, like that's grabbing my attention. But the lips are also like, they just look like super swollen and like nice and full. I hope you guys like seeing me try out Snitchery's makeup tutorial. And if you guys want to see more of me doing makeup tutorials, make sure you subscribe, like, and let me know down below. Also, share this video with her. Tag her in it. Share it on Instagram. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.